We just witnessed one of the greatest seasons of all time, bro. Jimmy High Roller came through with another banger. Hopefully, Jimmy High Roller, obviously basketball legend, bro. I'm not even subscribed. Matter of fact, subscribe if you're not. Subscribe right now. Subscribe to me. Subscribe to little bro, Jimmy High Roller. Little bro, that's disrespectful. The GOAT, Jimmy High Roller. And yeah, go subscribe to him. Anyways, I'm gonna address the elephant in the room, bro. I am an OKC fan, and yes, the last game that I watched, last game that I posted on here, I've watched all the OKC games all year, bro. And the last one I watched was actually Game 6. That's one I posted, Game 6. I didn't actually post the Game 7. Game 7. I didn't post them winning the finals. I didn't post anything. The last 2-3 weeks, I have been sick, bro. Deadly sick. Sickness. I don't know what type of sickness it was, but I was coughing my lungs out. One day I couldn't even speak. I was like, whispering pretty much. That was my max volume. So, I just haven't been feeling good. I've been pretty down the last few weeks. But yes, I have witnessed the greatness that has happened in the last few weeks. And as an OKC fan, I feel ashamed that I haven't shown my happiness to the world. But anyways, Jimmy High Roller about to sum it all up. He's very goated individual. Let's see what bro has to say
if I said
right
we
here.
Didn't see this coming.
Jimmy High Roller.
A 68-win record-setting team who's
Yes,
been the
sir.
overwhelming favorite to win the title this
Hell
season
yeah.
for practically
Hell
the entire
yeah.
season, winning the title. This is
Yup.
not an underdog story or one
This is an
riddled with
overdog.
ups
Oh,
and
this is a
downs
regular
capped
dog,
off
bro.
with an improbable rise to glory. But
Yup.
it should have
Oh
been.
my goodness, bro. This team. I just love this team so much,
One of
bro.
the youngest teams in the league with relatively little experience.
This shit actually just makes me happy, bro. This makes me like
prize the
all-time
franchise
happiness.
has only come within reaching distance of once before. Instead, this was a 100.
They did it for the old OGs, bro. If you know Westbrook, KD, James Harden could never get it done. None of those guys have ever won a championship. Yes, Westbrook, 0. Harden, 0. Kevin Durant, 0, bro. We're not counting them Golden State rings. We are not counting that shit, gang. 0 for all 3 of them. But OKC, the young killers, came through and got the job done.
A season of blowouts, absurd margins, awards, and shattered records. A season so dominant that
MVP.
skepticism turned into optimism, which quickly became expectation. And yet the 2025 OKC Thunder didn't just meet those expectations, they obliterated all of them.
Bro,
Because
I'm
the
actually
Thunder
saying right now, like, this team, OKC, is the best team in the last, let's say, like, the last, pretty much since, like, Curry, KD, and, the Golden State Warriors team. This is the best team since that. I'm saying it now.
just
And before that team, I think this is actually the second best team ever. I think this is better than Michael Jordan's Bulls. Facts.
champions.
If you're a real
They have
OKC
now
fan,
completed
you
one of
know
the
that we're
greatest
better than
seasons
Michael Jordan
of all
Bulls.
time.
Shea is on the same level as Michael Jordan. 100%.
Today's video is sponsored by
Okay,
SeatGeek.
bro.
Whether you're looking
SeatGeek, obviously, congratulations to Jimmy for getting a SeatGeek sponsored. But, I did not get
throughout
sponsored.
the
So,
history of the NBA,
I'm moving on
79
past
different
that.
teams have been crowned champions.
Okay, 79 teams,
that
damn.
beat the odds and achieved basketball immortality.
Yep.
But even among champions, there's an even more exclusive
Wait.
club. Teams that did
79 teams have won it. There's only 30 teams, bro. How does 79 teams win? Wait, take it back. I must have heard that wrong.
throughout the history of the NBA, 79 different teams have been crowned
79 different teams? Really, bro?
champions. 79 teams that beat the odds and achieved basketball
Nah,
immortality.
there's no way
But
this.
even among
Oh, okay. I think I know what he means. 79 different seasons, but not 79 specifically teams. Okay, that makes sense. All right,
champions,
Jimmy.
there's an even more exclusive
I had
club.
to
Teams that
break it down for him, but if you understand now, bro, you on the same page with me. I understand as
just
well.
won a title, but
Damn me
set
up.
entirely new standards on what is achievable in a single season. Of these 79 title-winning teams, only 8 of them achieved these 3 key metrics.
Wait. So this is all the
Of
the
these 79
historical.
title-winning teams, only 8 of them achieved these 3 key metrics.
Come on, bro. I'm trying to get the whole picture of all of them. Let me take it back a little bit more. Yep, there we go. So, OKC 2025. That's all I see, bro. I don't see any of this. The only thing I see is this right here. Beautiful. This beautiful picture right here. Yo, what's up with my mouse? This is not. It's like lagging low key. But bro, let me see. Who's the one the most? It's the Celtics 3. The hell are these teams? What is that? The Clouds maybe? Bro, what are these teams? MPS? MPLS? Alright, bro. None of these teams are actually real. They don't exist no more. What are Bullets? Oh, that's the Washington Bullets. Okay, so the Washington Wizards actually won a championship, which is very surprising. Bro, I haven't even seen the Washington Wizards in the damn playoffs since I've been a fan, pretty much. Like, only John Wall. Like, damn. The Lakers, Celtics have won a lot. The Lakers have a few. The Bulls, obviously, with Michael Jordan. Lakers, Celtics, Supersonics. 76ers, what? Didn't expect that. The Rockets, Lakers once again. Celtics, Spurs, Heat. The Heat? Oh, yeah, LeBron, D-Wade, Heat. The Spurs, Pistons have a couple. Lakers, so pretty much just Lakers, Celtics, and like Spurs, Bulls, Heat. There's only like a few teams that have really won a championship, if we're being honest. But the only one that matters is this big 2025 OKC.
A net rating of at least 10, an average margin of victory of at least 10, and at least 65 wins.
My apology, I'm still a little sick, bro.
Those teams are the 71 Bucks, the 72 Lakers.
Wait, so net rating of 10, I don't know what that means. There's only 2 nets on the court that matters. The one that we're shooting into and the one that they're shooting into. I don't know what net rating means. Average margin of victory, at least 10. So I'm guessing that means they win by more than 10 points and at least 65 wins, all right?
92, 96, and 97 Bulls.
And
the
OKC?
08 Celtics, the 2015 Warriors, and the 2017 Warriors.
And OKC?
These 8 teams are basketball royalty.
Okay.
So dominant that winning a championship was more of a victory lap than it was a testament to just how great they were. And without exception, all of these teams are regarded as the greatest teams for single seasons in NBA history. And now, a 9th team has been added to this exclusive club. The 2025 OKC Thunder. But to say they have simply entered this club would actually be an understatement. Because throughout the 2025 season, the Thunder finished with the 6th best record of all time, the 2nd highest net rating of all time, and the largest margin of victory in
See what I mean, bro? We're literally better. We're like the same as that Bulls. But trust me, next year we're winning 70 games, bro. That's a fact. As long as we can stay healthy, which I think we can, we're winning 70 games. Believe that. Believe that.
League. By all measurable accounts, the 2025 Thunder have asserted themselves among some of the greatest seasons in the history of the league. In fact, they weren't just beating everyone. The Thunder spent the last 9 months completely eviscerating teams. In the NBA, a 20-point victory is cited as a blowout. On 29 different occasions, nearly a third of all of their games this season, the Thunder were up on their opponents by 20 points or more by the end of the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, this is facts, bro. I watched pretty much... I'm gonna bring it down. I watched a lot of OKC. Pretty much, it's crazy. I watched a lot of OKC games this past year, and I can tell you this is facts, bro. This is factual information. Go look at the footage, bro. It's all posted on my YouTube. Click on my little name down over that side, right? That side, somewhere. You'll see my name below. Click on there. Go through the history books. Go through all of the things. If you want to see the footage, it is there. Me watching OKC win games all damn year, and last year as well.
Was already deemed a blowout before the 4th quarter even started. As the season progressed, the rapidly approaching realization that this team may just be having one of the greatest seasons of all time became clearer with each monumental beatdown. The MVP and scoring champion, a 23-year-old All-NBA guard by his side. Not one, but 2 all-defensive juggernauts. A rotation so deep, you'd swear they just subbed in another starting unit. It didn't take an analyst to know we were watching something special. In fact, by the time the playoffs rolled around, a very uncomfortable conversation quickly followed.
They are 4 wins away, Demonze.
Demonze?
From one of the single greatest seasons in NBA history.
Like, they've won 79 games between the regular season and the playoffs. They could be as extravagant and arrogant as they wish. They just aren't.
Are we seeing the potential of
Bro, what are these guys talking about?
all-time great team here?
The NBA should be worried.
Is this team truly?
That guy got it right. The NBA should be worried. OKC is coming for your neck, bro. Every other team, I'll be trembling in my damn boots if I was you, bro. Because winning a damn game when it comes to the playoffs against OKC, you're going to win 3 at the most, bro. But you never win it 4. When you match up with us, Facts, bro. Facts.
One of the
Run that shit
greatest
back
teams
every
ever,
time
or
we
at
get
the
into the
very
series in the
least, are
playoffs.
they
Run
having
that
one of the
shit back.
greatest seasons
Because
ever?
I said it
A
here,
dialogue
I
that
said it
was
right here,
routinely
right
and
now.
Justifiably shot down every time it came up. To even enter that discussion, they first had to win a championship. Something
Yup,
that we've
we
seen
did that.
countless good teams fall short of. But not this one. Checking the
Hey!
final box on a season that is now certainly in that rare and exceptional group. But of all the things this Thunder team has in common with the greats that came before it, how they managed to pull it off is what sets them apart. Among
How
the
do we do that?
requirements of nearly every championship team are talent, depth, defense, execution, and experience. After
Yep.
all, the one glaring hole in OKC's armor going into the playoffs was their lack of it.
Yeah,
The
we didn't have no experience, bro. We've only been to the playoffs like once
season
before.
and the postseason have become so disconnected in recent years that winning 68 games in historic fashion isn't nearly convincing enough if you haven't proven yourself in the playoffs. And as we all know, the road to a championship usually takes years, with countless casualties along the way. Players coming and going, heartbreak, entire
LeBron!
roster identities changing in search for a winning formula. But this team didn't just win it all. They won it way faster than they should have. Over the last 30 seasons, the average age across the NBA is about 26.8 years old. Throughout that same time span, the average age of championship-winning rosters is about 2 years older, at 28.8 years old.
So the average age for a championship team, he said it right there, 28 point something, pretty much 29 years old, which means almost 30. All right, so pretty much the average age of a championship team. Average means like everyone's age combined. Everyone's age combined of the teams of that win championships are always about pushing 30. All right, what is our age? Let them know.
Championship rosters are usually comprised of players with more experience, they're more battle-tested, and in many cases have spent years falling short of a championship before they finally achieve their ultimate goal. The 2025 Thunder being the exception, with an average roster age of just 24.8 years old.
We're not even
By far
25
the
yet.
youngest team to win a title in nearly 50 years. In fact, most championship teams don't even have a single player, let alone an entire roster this young getting minutes in the playoffs. So
Yep.
not only have the Thunder just put together one of the most complete and dominant seasons the league has ever seen, they did it about 4 years ahead of schedule. So what is next for a team that essentially checked off every single box in a season?
Run it back. Run it back. Dynasty.
The burden of proving they can do
Dynasty.
it again. Over the last few days, the word dynasty has been thrown around, what it means to be a dynasty and what it takes to build one. But if the current era of the NBA has taught us anything, it's
I
that
think a team has to win at least 2 championships to be a dynasty, and we've only got 1, so we can't be dynasty yet, bro, unless they win it this year. If it's this year, dynasty, it's a dynasty.
dynasties might just be a thing of the past. Every generation has seen at least one of these teams, whether it was the Celtics and the Lakers in the 80s, the Bulls of the 90s, the Lakers and Spurs in the 2000s, and the Warriors in the 2010s. And they have played a pivotal role throughout NBA history. At least they did, up until recently. Since
Shaq plus Kobe
2019,
title?
the NBA has seen a different champion every year. 7 different teams across 7 seasons.
Guess what, bro?
The longest span of unique title winners in NBA history. As if winning a championship
It's over now. It's over. Now that we have won this year, we're winning next year. We could go for a 3-peat, possibly 4-peat, bro. With the type of guys that we have. The only person or team specifically that I'm scared of as OKC is Victor Wembanyama. But obviously, the Spurs are not going to be good for another, let's say, 2 years, bro. This year, they're going to be all right. Good? Nah, they're not going to be good. They're going to be all right. After that, though, that's when I'm worried. So I say we got the 2-peat, but 3-peat,
wasn't
questionable.
difficult enough. Winning another one is magnitudes more difficult. And in recent times, it has become nearly impossible. With every team that shows signs of building something that will truly last,
Yeah, I'm
comes
not
the
worried
stark
about the
reminder
Celtics,
that
bro.
it
I'm not worried about the Celtics. I'm not worried about the Nuggets. I'm not worried about Giannis, Jokic, any of these guys. Luka. What? I don't care, bro. OKC locking his ass down. All right, Lakers, we don't care. Anyone in the West. I think we good in the West. Add to the East, bro.
probably won't. Players seeking greener pastures, a championship run often bringing out the egos in everyone
Mavericks,
involved.
I don't care, bro.
They
We're
lose
cooking
sight
it.
of the team. Sometimes it can simply be a logistical nightmare to keep a winning team together. Injuries can throw off timelines, young players get too expensive, old players get even older, the mileage adds up, and the window closes a whole lot faster than you would ever expect. Which means one of two things is true. Either we are truly in the era of parity and analytics, the speed of information, modern-day roster constructions, and the depth of talent has made it virtually impossible to build a lead on the competition, or there will be a dynasty of the 20s. We just haven't seen it yet.
We have. We've seen it. We're looking at it right now.
In a league where talent is a
My guy,
rotating door and assets are thrown around like cheap commodities, the Thunder have taken an
speaking about this offseason, bro, it's so weird, bro. Like, this has been the weirdest offseason in my in my memory, bro. In my memory, this is like the weirdest one we've had. All offseasons, usually a lot of good trades, like shocking trades. This year, not one trade have I been like, oh shit, bro's got traded for, bro. Oh, the whole NBA's cooked. Bro, not once this whole year. But I guess during the season was kind of that when Luka got traded. Jimmy Butler got traded, you know, I was a little bit worried about that. The Luka trade, I wasn't worried. That was just shocking. But like, yeah, I guess they used up all the good trades during the season, and now the offseason's got nothing left. Like KD got traded, I don't give a damn, bro. I really don't care.
Route to a title. Actually developing players and building from within. Roster continuity is an ever-increasing point of emphasis in the NBA today. Recent history has shown that the once viable method of building top-heavy super teams centered around a couple of superstar talents with little to no supporting cast was a failing model. The smartest organizations around the league shifted their focus away from acquiring top-end talent at any cost to the more traditional and sustainable model of developing players from within and acquiring pieces based on fit rather than sheer talent. And no team has mastered the art of drafting, developing, and fit better than the Thunder have. Since 2019, the average roster continuity among championship teams,
is the GOAT,
essentially
bro.
how much a team stayed the same from one season to the next, was about 61%. That means, on average, 61% of these championship teams' minutes were filled by players from the previous season's roster. The 2025 Thunder had a roster continuity of 79%, meaning the vast majority of their minutes were played by guys who they purposefully built around rather than outsourcing. In this new era of deep, consistent rosters where chemistry and fit matter just as much as talent, the OKC Thunder have built the youngest, most continuous roster in the entire league while being the best team in the league. But the anomalous nature of this team doesn't end there, because the Thunder's front office has built this team for the future. I think they would be the first to admit that this immense success, although part of the plan, was not expected to come this early. And evidence of this can be found here. Among the championship teams in this era of parity, the 2020 Lakers...
And I think, you know how our GM, bro, Sam Presti, obviously this guy has a lot of draft picks, first-round picks, second-round picks. I think instead of using them, like, he should just keep trading them for the next year. So if something happens, if something does happen, like a big injury or somebody, one of the players gets upset and wants to be traded, then we still have the picks for next year. We can like, instead of using them or trading them, just keep them, trade them for next year's picks, and then when next year comes, if we're still good, trade them for the next year's picks. So we always have a lot of picks, bro. I think that's what he's doing. I think I understand Samuel Prestige, bro. I think I understand your game plan, and I fuck with it, bro. I really do. Keep that energy up, bro. We need it. We need you in OKC. Sam Presti got the whole city on his shoulders. Backs, bro. He's carried. He's the real reason we're winning the championship. If I'll be 100% honest, he is.
These other rosters sitting well amongst the most expensive teams in the NBA at the time. This year's Thunder roster had the 25th highest payroll in the NBA. This team has their future growth already baked into the numbers.
Yeah, but now we just gave Shea like a maximum contract, and we gave a few more players contracts, so I think we'll be more expensive. But who is the most expensive team is what I'm wondering. Suns. The worst team in the league is the most paid, bro. And then the Timberwolves with who? Anthony Edwards. What's that guy? Rudy Gobert. And then the Celtics. So all the teams at the top, it's trash. Like, you spend all that money for what? Why? Doesn't make sense. Anyways, they must just be rich or something.
This year's Thunder roster
just be bad at
the
investments.
25th highest payroll in the NBA. This team has their future growth already baked into the numbers.
And look at that, the Pacers aren't too far ahead. So the two teams that win the final actually one of the cheapest teams.
Key players walk away due to money, the Thunder are one of the cheapest rosters in the league, giving themselves room to offer the highest bid to anyone who may want to leave or inevitably be up for an extension. They say money can't buy championships, but it sure does help. Fortunately, the Thunder just won one of the cheapest rings in NBA history. But possibly the largest positive indicator for the future of this team and a reflection of just how abnormal their accomplishments are is the fact that they are the sole owner of the largest draft stockpile in the
That's what
entire
I'm
league,
talking about.
with 24 picks over the next 5
God
seasons.
damn, 24 picks over the next 5 seasons. That could make two whole teams right there. If you dropped all those players, you can make 2 teams, not 1, 2 teams, bro. And I think Sam Presti knows what he's doing. Like, he's just going to keep trading and trading and trading. Yeah, bro. Keep doing
This
that.
has been a big development over the last couple of seasons. Just how good the Thunder are while sitting on 1 million picks. But the Thunder actually winning a championship changes everything and makes these assets look even more unbelievable. You want to see the cost of trying to win now? The teams that are highlighted represent the 8 teams that made it past the first round of the playoffs this season. Nearly all of them near the bottom of the league in terms of draft cap.
Look at that. 3 picks over the next 5 years. Wait, picks over the next 5 years. Yeah. The Nuggets and Lakers have 3. This team has a few. They have a few, but bro, over 5 years, these pretty much have 1 picks each, bro. Man, it
Even
could never
more
be okay.
shocking,
Oh,
when we
you
highlight
can't even see, bro. My face is in the way. OKC's up the very top, by the way. My bad. Continue, Jimmy.
the last 5 championship teams, they are the bottom 5 in the league in terms of future draft picks. Winning comes at a hefty price, a price that the Thunder managed to completely evade. Outside of OKC, the only team that made it out of the first round while maintaining more than their fair share of draft picks were the Pacers.
And they
Every
made it to
other
the
team that
finals.
is within vicinity of OKC is nowhere near even competing for a championship right now.
The Spurs-
In fact, the
Spurs
only
are coming.
reason why a team should even have as much draft capital as the Thunder do is if they have essentially forfeited the next season or 2 in an attempt to rebuild. Meanwhile,
Oh,
the Thunder
we going
just
for number
completed
2.
one of the best seasons of all time while simultaneously building a gluttony of assets for the future.
Yep.
This is unheard of. Usually, in fact, almost always, you do not get to be good now and be good later. You have to go all in on one or the other. Except, of course, if you're Sam Presti and the Thunder and you are attempting to do what no team can seem to pull off, be the next great NBA dynasty. But as it stands, the 2025 Thunder have already defied the odds. A young, small market team that was built from homegrown talent, not only stamping their name in every record book, but cementing their legacy as NBA champions and doing
Yeah, we
it
did.
smarter, faster, and about as unlikely as any team ever has.
Yep, we did. Look at that aura right there. The whole entire team, the whole city, bro, is grateful. Bro, we're all grateful, bro. We're all so grateful, bro. Our team is the best in the league. We're the best future. We're the best right now. We have the best player. It's unfair. It's actually unfair for the rest of the world, bro. But guess what? It could never be me. We were at the bottom and now we're at the top. 5 years difference, bro. Love to see that. If you're an OKC fan, like this shit up right now. Because, hey, like that shit. I'm an OKC fan. Like it, bro. Big likes for Jimmy High Roller, bro. And big likes for OKC. Best team in the league. Facts, bro. Facts. But GG's, that's the end. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.